What is up everyone, it's TK and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you this beautiful dragon strategy. Now, yes, it's not too beautiful, it's a bit spammy, it's a bit brain dead strategy, but it is what it is, man. Everyone is using it, so we're gonna be using it too. And hopefully the meta will change, and if it does, well, we'll switch strategies. But until then, we're gonna be using this dragon attack. And of course, for the clan castle, you're gonna be running 2 dragons, 3 loons, recall, and another invisibility spell. These are going to be your abilities. I'm gonna be running that rocket spell, which you don't see too often with the royal champion. I'm gonna be running the healing tome with the warden on the dragons, which again you don't see much often. And of course for the queen we have the giant arrow for those invisibility bases, and the minion prince is pretty normal abilities, to be honest. And hopefully in the future, as Supercell said, we're gonna be getting an epic equipment this year, and also 2 more common equipments for the minion prince. So let's see what they are, and hopefully some skins coming very soon. Now let's dive into the attacks and see how to smash some bases. Here we are on the first base, and we got Milt Vein right here. And guys, this base, it's been going around for quite some long time actually, and there has been some edits to it, which on this case we do have the invisibility tower. But let's see how I take it down. Now, I've seen Klaus does his royal champion walk from the top side, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the same. That's why when you saw the Klaus video, I think 2 days ago or yesterday, I don't know when it was exactly uploaded, because I'm recording these videos like separate timings, but he went around this area and his RC took down the clan castle. This alone is a huge help. You don't have to deal with any ice golems or ice lava hound, something like that. And you can see we still got 3 more invisibility spells to deploy for this RC. Now, sometimes I freestyle. I literally don't care which side the RC goes. I literally have zero care. Once she goes to the left, I know the funnel is being set, and as you guys can see, and actually let me put it with the pen, this is a big funnel right here. So the obvious choice is a beautiful dragon through this area and a queen ability for that sweeper. That means you're going to be able to get a few nice building funnel down here, and I mainly deployed most of my dragons to the top side, and I'm going with a blimp on this approach just because, you know what, I just want some dragons in front. At the end of the day, your dragons will always path to the town hall, no matter the cost. This is the only attack in the past 4 days that I've used the blimp, and it literally had no use. Literally, don't use a blimp unless you literally know the town hall is way too far from those defenses surrounding it. This town hall was not, and look how crazy we going through the base. Now, I didn't talk about too much about my RC on this attack. It was mainly about the dragons. On the next attack, I will tell you exactly where to drop the RC more back when you recalled her in the action. That's gonna be the most important part of this attack, because obviously there is 2 things that are important. First is your queen giant arrow. If you miss a sweeper and you had planned to dive into the base but the sweeper is pointing at you, you need to change your plan. Don't go with that same plan, because the sweeper will mess you up really badly and sometimes even end up being a time fail on that approach. But let's move on to the next hit. We got my boy LG right here. Shout out to him and big congratulations. He got his code in Clash of Clans, code LG. A very nice man, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and take his base down. Now, what is this with the invisibility rage combo meta in Legends League? It's quite interesting, but my RC did not do too well on this approach. So this is where I want to show you this attack. It does not matter too much about if your RC gets the craziest value. My RC is gonna actually get cooked quite a bit in this approach. So going from the lower side, he got a few major defenses. Personally, I would not suggest you to go into like 4 or 2 heroes. Sometimes your RC may get stuck on them, they may switch, you know, and it's just unlucky. There's a very key little thing about the RC switching to heroes, and it's a bit kind of hard to explain, but you need to drop the invisibilities. Like you can see, like if you drop the invis and the RC goes uninvisible and the hero is right next to it getting uninvisible too, she's gonna lock on. And look at this RC, man. All these bombs, all these traps, all these targetings, they're messing her up. And I didn't get quite a lot of funnel, only slightly, so I can get my dragons to the core. But once she's going forward, I'm gonna recall her. Now again, because we got the lower side funnel, look at this. Easy as that. We're gonna go with the queen on the left or the right, and here is where I'm gonna go with the dragons. Now my next tip on the RC drop back in the action is usually whenever there is an air defense far away from where you drop your queen, that's when you drop her and pop her ability instantly to try to funnel everything so the dragons don't move too long. Now look at this minion prince ability through that rage tower. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Make sure you pop the warden ability nicely on the damage and not at the start of an attack. And here is where you can see the RC will actually get some help with the dragons to try to take out the town hall, and we got the rest of our dragons through the core to try to finish this base off on the back end major defenses. We still got the queen alive with those healers, of course, and this is why you want to drop the RC where the queen usually is, just not on her. On this attack, it was a bit situational, just because there was nothing on this area to drop the RC, plus there was a ricochet cannon. It would have cooked the RC so hard from the outside really quickly. So I dropped her a bit angled, but it's still, I wanted to get these areas, you know what I'm saying? So this is where then the queen will have enough kind of HP and power to stay alive for longer to move around the base. Simple as that. We're gonna move on to the next hit. Achilles is here and his base is looking quite good. Obviously, this invisibility and rage tower meta bases are there everywhere in Legends. There's gonna be new edits from it. I've even built 3 of these myself. It's completely new. I'm gonna be running it in the next few days. But notice, what I always do on these bases, whenever I see the town hall is here and the clan castle is right next to it, this means your dragons have very easy path to the core. All you need is the RC to clear either this side, doesn't matter whatever she gets, or go to the top and clear these sides. Whichever side she chooses, as I told you, if she chooses the top, you still have the lower side queen ability, you have the dragons funneling a bit, you have the RC here funneling a bit, and then again major dragons to the core. That's exactly what I'm gonna do on this attack. If she does plan to come on the monolith, you still got king and minion prince once the RC took down the defenses, so she's gonna take down everything here, but there's still these 2 heroes, so you still have the path to that town hall. That looked so weird when I drew that, but don't worry, okay? That's on me, okay? No worries. Now, RC went to the top side, completely, absolutely demolished everything up there, and took down the enemy queen, which is really, really good, and I'm gonna recall her back. Now, look at this beautiful funnel on the right side. This is the main thing. We took down the sweeper and activated the invisibility tower. Next step is for your queen to stay alive on a ground expo and the ricochet cannon, which I go with that stone slammer. Now I always go with some dragons and the royal champion on these bases on the side of the queen to try to help with more funnel of defenses. This alone gives me such a good idea of diving into the base. But Achilles had another plan with his CC. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was a mass archer CC, I think so, but maybe that was another attack. Okay, it was a similar base. This is Ice Golem CC. Some bases, they have mass archers, and you need to make sure you pop the warden ability on the rage tower. Don't pop it if you are scared or something. Now you're gonna see how beautiful we're gonna go through this base. The rage tower drops, we're gonna go ahead with the beautiful warden ability, catching everything through the base. And notice, because my RC took down this right side, the dragons and her RC again took down the right side again. There is nothing on the back end which can stop your dragons. Even if there is 4 expos and 3 multi-archer towers, you got like 15 dragons, and that's the crazy part about this strategy. All you need is a little freestyle RC walk, either from this side or going again, as I told you, from the other side. But at the same time, you always want to have this path to the town hall whenever you see the clan castle area is right next to it. There's always going to be a very little detail on every base, which is going to give you that opening, and of course that kind of weakness of a base. Even in my bases, sometimes I do this mistake, and there's always a weakness, and you want to use that in your advantage. So, moving on, let's look at some damage bases. These are heavy double rage tower bases, and they're harder to RC walk because obviously there is no actual path directed to the core. But guess what? I'm gonna show you a path. Let's look at this RC. Now, this is all experience. If you want to get your RC to this core, you cannot do it from these sides. She will go around. You always need to do it from a very decent angle, from a further distance away. This will give you that opening. Look at that. This is another weakness of a base. If there is no Teslas, Even if there is, you always have the extra invisibility to try to move your RC to the top side. Otherwise, you can see how defenses are placed. The RC will always walk around these defenses and never move to the core. But from the angle I drop my RC, that's the perfect example of looking at the base from a different perspective. So going with this RC to the core is going to give you that core value. If she doesn't, you need to make sure, just like the last attack, at least, let's say your RC got this much, you need to clear this, okay? And then with your queen, you're gonna get this value with some nice funnel on this side, RC around this side, you're gonna get decent funnel. And then notice you're gonna have a beautiful funnel through the core once you get that value. But on this attack, as I said, I made sure my RC goes to the core and gets amazing values. And notice, this is what I mean. That is what I do with the RC. 7 out of 8 attacks. This is so far, but it's around where I drop the queen, and these are the dragon pathing. The queen will give me some nice funneling on this side, and the RC is gonna cut this side of the base with her ability. Always keep one dragon. Sometimes I forget, but always keep one dragon on the top side or here just to deploy behind the RC. This will clear the entire top side, making sure your main army never goes there. Your army is gonna go like this. This is where your dragons will never fail, will never time fail, and you will never kind of be disappointed in losing all your dragons because they're just moving too far ahead and moving away from the main defenses of an entire base. That is why I run that rocket spear, especially when there's air defenses. She can easily take them down nicely. Queen is also struggling a bit. That's why I usually drop a dragon around her. So if there's a multi-archer tower or something, it will always target a few defenses. But notice, still no warden ability because we didn't go through too much damage. Once we are negating the core and the town hall, it's where you can pop the warden. Depends on the trap. If there is no trap, you can still see I still haven't popped it. But once we're going through that many defenses and heroes, and yeah, this base actually, this is where I noticed there was 4 heroes on this exact area of the base. I got a bit scared because I was like, hold on, if this is gonna be a 1-star or no, because the heroes will pull the dragons to themselves. But obviously, we just got a lot of them, man. We got a lot of these dragons and the minion prince still alive. This is how you want to take down these bases, guys. And every single base, obviously, there is gonna be a plan for it, but sometimes you just need to freestyle. Drop the RC, as you saw from every one of my attacks. I nearly dropped the RC in one of the corners of the bases. What is going to happen is that she's either going to go down or she's going to go up, depending on what she does. Let's say if she went up, you need the queen to be here, get the funnel, go with the dragons in the middle. If she comes down, again, let me show you. If she comes here, you need the queen on the top side, again, making a funnel through the main base. You can see how things work depending on your RC, and it's always about kind of being able to adapt. It's not always about planning in 30 seconds. Legends League is about adapting. If you're new to pushing and everything, obviously I try my best to bring the best tips in the pushing scene for you. And if you want to be able to, watch them more, make sure you stay tuned on the channel. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you soon tomorrow. Take care and peace.